Hi, everyone. So I need a break from astrology. Excuse me. All of a sudden, I couldn't talk. I need a break from astrology, so I decided I just want to do general messages for whoever has to hear it. The message is going to be directly to somebody of the collective. If it resonates with you, good. If it doesn't, move on. So let's just find out what the universe would like to tell you. This is for anyone of any sign. Two cards flew out. Wow. The message says boundaries and empowerment. Somebody has to create healthy, strong boundaries, and it feels like spiritual boundaries because really honestly, all boundaries is spiritual in nature. But somebody has to create spiritual boundaries to help empower them. I feel like somebody feels debilitated or somebody feels less than or weak, like disempowered, very strongly disempowered in this energy. And the reason is because of unhealthy boundaries. Let's see more about this situation. I always like to use different kinds of decks for the different languages because the energies are just different. Every time I do readings for you guys, it's like night and day, two different separate groups. Tell me about this. Why are you showing this to me? The first card that flew out is the Ace of Wands. And this one's specific because the person has the tools in their hands to write a new story, is what I heard. And then here we have the card of Judgment that came in reverse. Okay. And I feel like you have the tools in your hand to write a new story for yourself. But the problem that you're having right now is that you're not judging the situations around you correctly. And the reason why you're not is because we have the Queen of Swords sideways. This Queen of Swords, she's usually very smart. She's clear-minded. She's clear-headed. The emotions are kind of in check. And she's able to know where it is that she needs to cut the extra fat out, right? Where, I can't have this person, I can't have this habit, I can't have whatever because this is causing me a problem. They just cut it out. But because she came out sideways, I think the problem is not so much that you don't know, but you don't want to because you feel guilty, I just heard. Explain that to me. Why do they feel, I've just realized some of these cards I put them backwards. Oh, it's because backwards thinking. Everything has a reason for why I do things, but you have backwards thinking. Why do they have backwards thinking? Explain. Happiness. Your backwards thinking comes from happiness. Explain that. Funnel. Period of frustrations. Lessons to be learned. Okay. February. Okay. So what I'm feeling is that the problem is not so much that you don't have healthy boundaries, is that you don't want to create the boundaries that you need to create, because there's this weird feeling that in creating this boundary, you're going to, if you hear that, that's my washing machine. So if you create this boundary, it feels like you think that you're going to give up your happiness. And the funnel is kind of that cutting out the fat energy where you're starting to go through everything in your life and seeing what you should keep and what you shouldn't keep. But the biggest thing about the funnel that I keep thinking about is that bottlenose energy, where everything is trying to funnel through one belief system or one way that you're seeing the world or whatever, and it's actually getting clogged up. And this actually started around February, where the doubt started sinking in. Why? Because of the Knight of Cups. Now, this Knight of Cups I really like, because do you see how in the donkey is touching the water, and the donkey is turning into stone, and the guy's legs turning into stone, and here the falcon is coming off the guy's arm, and it feels very strongly like the thing that has you a little stuck is that probably somebody is expressing some form of love to you. Okay. This would be like what do they call it? Gray rocking or something like that? Or no, that's backwards. I'm not even sure. With breadcrumbing, right? Where they're giving you a little bit of what you requested so that you won't leave or so that things won't change. Um, and you're watching the situation in a way that you're hoping that it's true, but there's a part of you that has already been there, done that, and know that it's not true. And I mean, the thing that I can tell you right now is be very mindful of this energy, because this is exactly what retrograde energy does, right? It gives you somewhat what you want to see if you're really willing to do what you said you were going to do. And this entire week is all about that. If you haven't seen the astrology, I recommend you seeing it, because it has all to do with that. See? And then we have the 5 of Cups. And that literally is talking about, you know, every time they said that they were going to change, things were going to get better, everything's going to move forward, it didn't. And then you're here sad and they're holding you back in their, like, I want to say darkness, in their depths of their soul. But there are opportunities that want to present themselves to you, but you're not going to be able to see those opportunities as long as you're holding on to this. I just heard persona of the past. And see, I don't think it's when I said persona of the past, I don't feel like it's the other person. It's you. It's like, you know, like certain things we keep in our lives because they form part of my identity, right? Like, who am I to this friend group if I'm not friends with this person? Who am I in this community if I'm not the party girl or the party guy? Who am I in this family dynamic if I'm not the one that always brings in peace? Who am I in? And it's like this person, place, thing, energy that you're supposed to have boundaries to. It forms a part of your persona, and this can be a thing, right? So let's say going back to the party girl or a party guy, and let's say the problem is some kind of abuse of some kind of alcohol or drug or whatever, right? So if you stop, you're different. You're different completely. And people are like, why are you so different? And they don't know how to pin it. And then people start like acting weird around you and stuff because you're not the same person. And it's because they've already gotten used to, they were attracted to you by the person that you were. And then now you're like, well, then I'm going to lose out on everyone and everything. But then it's like, did you like the person you were? Is that the person you want to present yourself to the world to? Is that the person you see yourself as? And are you willing to give up that person you believe you should be because of the things that you're going to lose? Because let's be honest, you're only losing things that form part of that world that you're not. I hope you understand where I'm going, because this is like, it feels like a twisted web. And I'm saying that while I'm looking at this card and we have the Wheel of Fortune. And it feels like that. It's like you're caught in a net, and the net is your persona, the identity that you formed in yourself. And then if you leave this persona, then who are you? And it's so hard. It depends on what part of your life you're in and what stage of your life you're in. It's so hard to just like walk away from it. And here it's saying, but if you create that boundary, you will be empowered. You will be empowered in your authentic self. But it's so scary. What if you don't? What if you make a big mistake? There's a lot of what ifs in this energy. Let's see. What if you don't? What if you don't become empowered after it? We have, this is so funny. I said, what if you don't become empowered after it? It says, a path to money is waiting for you to find it. Literally, it's saying, I don't know what you're talking about. This is a path to abundance to you. So what if you decide that you're going to stay the same person you've always been? We have the Bat. Take care. Enemies are working against you. So see, this is what I'm saying. Like, there are things around you that you haven't let go of. Person, place, things, energies, frequencies. Because, oh, but then what am I going to do without these friend groups, without these people that I know, without whatever, you know? And here it's saying that these are not really your friends. So like if you stay in a situation because of that friend or that community or that whatever, they're really not your friends. They're not for you. And so it's funny because I asked it opposite, right? So I asked, what if you choose not to move forward in this situation, blah, blah, blah. And it tells you, yes, this is the path of your money. What are you talking about? And I'm like, what if you decide to stay? And it gives you a negative card. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the what ifs are more self-inflicted and they're really limiting compared to where you should be. In the bottom of the deck, we have, wow. Look at that. I'm going to put, this is crazy. The back of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. That sees the opportunity that is being bestowed in front of you. Be the emperor, be empowered, be in control of your reality. That will give you the Ten of Cups where you're feeling fulfilled, and also the Magician. And I love the energy of the Magician in this context because it's saying the the things that you experience are not bad. They're things of growth and expansion. You're learning how to judge the world correctly, how to judge their surroundings, how to judge yourself correctly. Because honestly, when we don't have healthy boundaries, it has something more to do with us than it does with the world around us, right? And so right here, I'm feeling like it really doesn't matter because either way, you're going to grow and expand. And the Magician is talking about growing emotionally, the cups, growing materially, where you're going to have different people, places, things that you're around, growing in your power, where you're more assertive and more, your masculine energy is more awake to take actions in the things that you know. And then more in your voice, where you feel like you can speak things into existence because you have the power of authority over your life. You are sovereign. You are the person in charge of your life. It's not somebody else. And I feel like the more that I'm looking at this reading, the more I'm feeling like you're starting to realize, if you haven't, I mean, hopefully you'll realize it soon, that you've given up your autonomy and your sovereignty to a group of people, places, and things that are not for your best interests, are like literally chipping away at your soul and making you something that you're not. And you have the potential to be so much more. So I'm hoping that you take this message into heart and you start really thinking about why you do certain things. And that is the energy of this entire week, actually. Again, if you haven't seen the astrology, please revisit it, because this is 1,000% what's happening in the astrology. You're being asked, why am I this person? Why do I do this? Why do I accept that? Is this really what I want? Is this really the person I believe that I am? And can I be better? And what is better? And like really taking it really within and seeing what you can do to make things different for your greatest good. And honestly, every person that actually did that, like really took the time to, instead of pointing fingers, instead of being pissy at other people, instead of blaming, the blame game. Remember, I told people the astrology of this year is taking accountability and a responsibility for your own life. If it's sucky, there's something you should change. And so it's really taking into account, like, this person, the one that is making me depressed, the person that's making me sad, the person that makes me feel less than, it is me. And so why am I allowing me to make me sad and depressed? And is there something I can do to make me happy? And if there is something, then what does me have to do to get that? That's the energy I'm seeing. I hope you choose you, because it's terrible to live a life that after a while you're just looking at it back in your life and feeling kind of bummed, thinking, man, I could have done more. I hope to see you soon again. Bye.